Maxwell's equations. Maxwell equations can be described by these four equations. The first one is written as divergence D equal to rho. This rho is, sometimes we call it rho F. This F means free charge. So this is the free charge density. Divergence D is equal to free charge density. Here D is called electric displacement, 电位比。The D is related to the electric field E by this relation. Here we have a quantity called polarization. Sometimes we call it electric polarization. Electric polarization means dipole moment per unit volume. Dipole moment per unit volume with dipole density. Okay, and sometimes we will write D as epsilon E, which means that there is a quantity called epsilon relate D and E. Okay, the E is the electric field. Electric field. Okay. For linear medium, linear means that the epsilon has no relation with the strength of the field. Okay. 这线性材料的意思就是说，这些 epsilon 跟场的强度没有关系啊。So in most of the case, we study linear medium, but in chapter 7, we will talk about an effect called EO, electro-opto effect. Okay. In this effect, we will linearize the nonlinear effect of the material. Okay, which means the material can be controlled by applied electric field externally. Then this influenced material will influence this modified epsilon will influence the light we want to control, we want to modulate. 就是说，我们可以用外加的电场呢，去影响材料的特性。比如说，我们可以去稍微改变折射率，好，然后这个折射率被改变之后，就进一步去影响我们要控制的光，好，这种叫 EO， 好，叫电光效应，好，电光效应。Then we have another divergence type equation, divergence B equal to 0. This is the second Maxwell equation. In this equation, the B is called magnetic induction. We have another quantity called H. H is called magnetic field. Okay. In some textbook, they call B magnetic field, but you must choose another name for the H field. However, for most of the book, we call H the magnetic field and call B the magnetic induction or magnetic flux density. Okay, this is called also be called magnetic flux density. They related to each other by this relation. B is equal to mu 0 times H plus M. Here, the quantity, the vector quantity M is called magnetization. Ah, 这叫做磁极化。Magnetization is something similar to polarization, but it is the magnetic version. It defines the magnetic dipole moment per unit volume, or magnetic dipole moment density. Okay. So if the material is linear, then M is proportional to H or proportional to B. So we can also write the relation B and H so for linear material, or linear media, we have D proportional to E through this relation, and B is proportional to H through this relation. These two relations are called constitutive relations. 本构关系啊，这个中文呢，台湾没有翻译啊，对岸翻译叫做本构关系。本构关系啊。So we have the relation between E and D through this epsilon, and B and H through this mu. The epsilon is called permittivity. And the mu is called permeability. 这个叫做电容率，或者叫做介电场数。啊，那这个叫做这个磁导率。啊，这叫做磁导率。啊，那有的是把相对介电常数叫做 permittivity。好，那看不同的情况。好，那这边我要再提一下哈。In this textbook we used, you may find a different equation, different formula. I say that B is related to H and M by this formula. But in this textbook, you will find the author write this equation as mu 0 h plus m directly. This is not a wrong equation, wrong formula, but in a different convention. OK， 就是说课本上的写法是这个 m 呢